What is up, Starcraft? And welcome to another episode of Shoutcast with Bathala SC. And today we will be witnessing Game 2 of the match between our Zerg and Terran player. Let us introduce them one by one. On the top left, our Zerg player, InGodITrust. And our lower right, our purple Terran, SneezyDwarf. There we go. So this would be a TVZ matchup. Um, our Zerg producing drones 3 at a time. So this would be most likely an economic opener, as you can see. Hatchery at the front. And for our Terran player, we are seeing the standard 1 racks, 1 gas, Reaper opener. So I don't know if the Terran will be opening Reaper, but it usually aligns in that setup. So this is a fast 1 racks fast expand. So now here you can see the pool is being added to our Zerg player. And drones being produced spontaneously. On our Terran side, he will be stuck with a production pickup. Barracks being produced with reactor, and command center on the high ground is first opener for our Terran, our purple Terran. Turtle Parent Purple Terran player. So now spotting Overlord, we will see that there is no command center being produced by the Terran as of yet. So it may sound an alarm to our Zerg player that it is a proxy, but if he would just move his vision, he would see that there is a high ground
SCV ready!
and barracks being added. Another barracks being added.
SCVs! They're under attack!
Purple Terran player. SCVs being attacked at the main gate of our Zerg player. 6 Zerglings, 7, 8, 10 Zerglings created by our Zerg player. So I think it's an overreaction because it didn't spot the CC here. Marines trying to chew away this Overlord. That is a control block to our Zerg player. He needs to add Overlords, now adding 2, which will give us back into a 36 control Zerg. So 2 hatcheries versus 2 orbital command, upgrading 1 on the high ground. So this is a very good macro opener for our Terran player because the Zerg opened a not so macro-oriented build. It is a 2-hatch with evolution chamber, so he forgot the rally point for his drones. It's not too late to add another hatchery so that he can at least equalize the why 2 instead of why 2 versus 2 base instead of why am I suggesting 3 versus 2? Because the economic setup for Zerg versus Terran is that when you're playing against Zerg, unless it's a mirror, the Zerg should always have 1 plus base compared to his Terran or Protoss opponent. So that would be 3 hatch versus 2 CC. But this game, it's just a 2 hatch. So this will affect the production capacity of the Zerg in comparison to the economic setup being created by our Terran player. Because the production of the Terran is linear, he can produce 2 or 1 at a time, and he'll be queuing up units so that he'll just wait. While on our Zerg, we want to utilize that explosive production capacity and ability speaking of explosives, we can see now 6 banelings being added. So no hatcheries being produced as of yet. Speed for overlords, pneumatized Grp.A is upgraded. Ground Grp.A is being upgraded as well. This is a very tech-heavy build by the Zerg, and he would be a bit delayed in the economic side if he continues to do this, to pursue this build. I think this is the right time to add more hatchery or hatcheries. Maybe another macro hatch and another third would be a good step, but no, we'll be adding 12 more Zerglings and 5 more drones. And look at this, guys. You can see this. This is the Nidus Canal for Starcraft Rudolph player, but for Starcraft 2, it is the Nidus Network. So in comparison, the Nidus Network doesn't need creep so that it can implant itself, but for the Nidus Network to be implanted anywhere in the map, it needs vision. So this would be the spotter, I suppose. So we have a speed and a spotter over here. Nidus being sent at the front, and is SneezyDwarf prepared enough to defend the onslaught? That is 11 roaches and a lot of Zergling reinforcement. Load this now! Load this. And speaking of loading, Marines to be dropped on the main, supposed main. Is it shifted in the main base? I think it's in the main base. Main base now, Zerglings and Banelings in the front. SCs being pulled. He's being gifted. Attacking with Armors. Now our Zerg players on the main production line of our Terran player. Banelings trying to on SCs. Will they connect? I think they will. But that would be a lot of workers. 12 workers here. Inside, and now the drop incoming for our Terran player. It's a massive position. It's a heck of a game. Roaches killing the remaining Marines across. Drops being attacking the team of extractors. Failing them. Mix up. Warren as well. Yes. Hydras at the production. Good pull by our Zerg player and their player as well. So we are still at the 28 to 24. It's just the normal game. The normal Nidus and drop shenanigans of people. SneezyDwarf will continue to produce. Now his production is safe at the moment. Scouting, sniping another overseer, and I don't think that's a good idea to show your Hydras immediately for our Zerg player InGodITrust. SCVs produce one at a time. We are now entering +1 missile, but we have no +2 upgrade. Let's see about that later on. Groove spines being added, so this is more range. Drops it once again, sniping the main base of our Zerg player. So now our Zerg is back to 2 hatcheries versus 2 orbital lands. Spotter Marine on the supposed 3rd base and drops at the supposed 5th base of our Zerg player. This is not the end for the Zerg as of yet, because he still has a lot of drones, and if this hatchery will be fully functional, I think it's just a balanced game. So you can see, oh my god, 5 siege tank queued up in the factory. I think the Nidus Worm is a bit of a scare to our Terran player. SneezyDwarf ensuring that there would be no more Nidus drops. Also adding a sensor tower. So just to make sure that I won't, if I'm the Terran player, just to make sure I won't be forgetting these siege tanks, just queue them up. For new players, I would suggest queuing up your units because you can produce more production facilities and activate them all at the same time instead of just queuing them. So for example, this siege tank, that would be a good 450 and 375 gas. 450 mineral, 375 gas on the queue line instead of you're just producing more marines and another factory so that you can produce more stuff. I mean, to allocate more stuff. So you get what I mean, guys. So now the Terran player acquired third base, upgrading the command center, hatcheries, once again active churning, spore crawlers, zerglings, and this good roach range army, the Hydra roach combo. But I don't think that would be enough to hold this upcoming push being created by our purple Terran player. So let's see what would happen next. Our match has dwindled down in action. Muscular augments for Hydra speed. Siege tank being added one at a time once again. Marines 5 at a time. And I don't see a medevac support, but now the move out by our Terran player. So let's see that view.
Metamorphosis complete.
SCV
So
ready.
we have 41. Is it 41? No. It's just around. Yeah. It's just a lot of Marines.
Mineral
And
field
Ready to
depleted.
roll out.
I think he'll be trying to attack this area. The Zerg should not allow the Purple Terran to get the high ground advantage. Don't give it to the Terran player because that would be a very hard position to break. The armies of the Zerg is at the third base apparently, and now we can see the Purple Terran slowly encroaching, posturing at the third base, spotting if there is Zerg creep, and yes, he sees the Zerg's creep. Scan is being produced, Stim at the front activated, Siege being produced, and as we can see, a cheeky drop incoming. Scan at the main, and while the drop is happening in the main base, this Stim trying to kill all the workers and climb this hatchery, and he will be successful. Stim being microed, this steamed marines going from the main, from the natural into the main base, but spore crawlers is fine. And that is a full load of medevac. But they're trying to bust through this area, but I don't think it will be enough. GG is called InGodITrust 2-0 by SneezyDwarf. So this game is a great way to check your production setup when you're a Zerg player. So in the early game, the Zerg tried to come up with a very aggressive Nidus play, but he still has a lot of minerals spare to at least try to create another base so that if the attack didn't go well or if the attack didn't do enough damage, you still have an economic backbone to rely on to. Game sense wise, you can see that the Terran player is more adept in this kinds of situation. He has more knowledge compared to our Zerg player, and not discounting the Zerg player. The Zerg player did well in producing and technically going to the tech path that he wants to go, but the first parts of the game, which usually is affects, it's like a butterfly effect to the Zerg's economy. Once you did not open properly as a Zerg, chances are on the late game your production would be staggered. But as you can see, even without that attack, the Zerg could have barely hold it. He still has a lot of. I think he's supply block at the moment. I mean, control block at the moment. Because look at this. That would be 12 larva, and that would be around 12 hydralisk or 12 roaches at most. And here we can see 6. So around 20 more Zerglings, or 40 more Zerglings, or 20 more roaches, or 20 more hydralisk could have turned this battle and could have let the Zerg players stay. But once again, good game to both of our players. So this is the round of 16, game 2 of the match between InGodITrust and SneezyDwarf. When we come back to our next video soon, I'll be casting the other round of 16 battles between the other players in the SCPH quarantine tournament. And we're back in the modified ECQ. Stay at home, guys. Play more Starcraft and stay hydrated. And I will see you on the next one. Bye.
Now